This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for 17 News at Noon. I'm Nicole Gitsky. We begin with what is expected to be a very active wildfire season. We have already seen a preview with the Oak and Shell fire from just 2 weeks ago. Now another fire breaking out in Tehachapi, but there is some good news to report. 17's Moses Small is on scene and has more. Moses?
Nicole, good afternoon. I am here in Tehachapi at the scene of the Rosa fires. Firefighters say it started about 9 this morning, burning about 6 acres before firefighters finally knocked down the flames. And it came when a spark arose after a person cut grass and weeds to reduce the risk of fire, and it did threaten multiple structures. First responders say the fire is now at 100% containment, which is the good news. And it took about 2 hours to knock down these flames, but this all serves as another grim reminder of exactly how quickly these fires can erupt as we face sustained heat and drought. In Tehachapi, Moses Small, 17 News.
Now in your 17 Crime Watch, the Kern County Sheriff's Office is looking into a suspicious death west of Cantil. Now, according to KCSO, they received a report of a man unconscious in a car near Jawbone Canyon Road and Kelso Valley Road. When deputies arrived, that man was dead. Detectives are now investigating what happened. If you know anything, call KCSO at 861-3110. Well, the man accused of homicide after a series of intentional crashes is now behind bars. Bakersfield police say they arrested 63-year-old Robert Joseph Shute after he crashed 3 separate times, killing a man and injuring 4 others back in June. Investigators say Shute intentionally rammed a vehicle, and when he tried to ram the vehicle a second time, he struck a pedestrian at the intersection of Q and West Columbus Streets. Shute then continued on Q Street and collided head-on with the vehicle, killing the driver. Shute has been charged with first-degree murder, assault with a deadly weapon other than a firearm, and other related charges. Now to what police are calling a hate crime at a local drive-in after a man pulled a knife on an employee. According to the Bakersfield Police Department, officers responded to King's Drive-In on Niles Street. During their investigation, BPD says 33-year-old Adrian Aceves learned one of the employees was Arabic and pulled out the knife, saying he wanted to harm the employee because they were a, quote, terrorist. Police say they arrested the 33-year-old, who has an active arrest warrant, along with charging him with suspicion to commit a hate crime and making criminal threats. Well, one person is dead following an early morning crash on Highway 43. California Highway Patrol says it happened just before 5:15 on the 43 at Panama Lane. CHP says a semi-truck crashed into a tree and caught fire. Another semi-truck was involved in the crash, but it's not clear how. The driver of the semi-truck that caught fire died. Police shut down Highway 43 between Stockdale Highway and Panama, but have since reopened the roadway. Well, David Palms, one of the inmates who escaped from Lerdo Jail back on April 28th, is expected to appear in court today. You may remember Palms and Tyrone Johnson were awaiting trial for the shooting death of 3-year-old Major Sutton when the two broke out of the facility. Palms was caught hours later, but Johnson evaded capture for nearly 2 months. Sheriff Donnie Youngblood joined us this morning on Sunrise, calling the escape embarrassing for a number of reasons.
We did everything wrong. Everything that we could do wrong, we did. And so we went back, including the day we opened the jail. I stood next to the flagpole that was right next to the building, which is what they used to get off the roof, and it didn't dawn on me. So we were all in this, not just any one person. We did everything wrong from the beginning.
Sheriff Youngblood says they have since moved the flagpole and are not housing inmates together in the same cell. Now, Palms is facing several charges stemming from the jailbreak. Now taking a look around the state, Governor Gavin Newsom last night made his first public appearance since his recall election was certified and given an official date. The governor acknowledges there's a lot of work with not a lot of time to do it as the recall election against him becomes a primary focus. Governor Gavin Newsom maintains he will not be distracted from his administration's and other priorities, including putting the pandemic behind us. But that may not happen anytime soon. 3 weeks after lifting the majority of his administration's statewide restrictions on businesses, the infectious Delta variant is now California's most dominant COVID-19 strain. The pandemic and his administration's policies played a major role in the recall effort against him. Now here at home, the California Patriots Coalition is holding a fundraiser event in support of the Recall Newsom campaign. The Farewell Newsom celebration is happening this Saturday at 5 p.m. Tickets are $30, which includes dinner and a drink. To purchase tickets, call that number on your screen. And speaking of Newsom recall effort, John Cox, the Republican businessman running against Newsom, stopped in Bakersfield today. Cox says Californians are calling for change in the state, including how to tackle our growing homeless situation. Cox is bringing a giant ball of trash along on his campaign trail, symbolizing how he'll clean up the streets and tackle the growing issue. He says spending more money will not fix the problem. Well, happening today, the embattled Fairfax School District Board is set to meet as some board members face recall campaigns. Now, last week, the head of the Kern County Elections Division approved a petition to recall 3 trustees on the board. That allows recall organizers to start collecting signatures. They need to collect more than 1,500 valid signatures by September 26. The recall campaign is aimed at ousting Fairfax School Board President Palmer Mullen and school board trustees Jose Luis Tapia and Alma Rios.
Clinica Sierra Vista is now offering rapid COVID-19 testing and COVID-19 vaccinations. Call 833-278-4584 to make your appointment. But don't delay. Clinica Sierra Vista, putting patients first.
Well, now to some sad news to report. One of Kern County's best-known attorneys has passed away unexpectedly. Timothy Lamucci, who participated in some of Bakersfield's most memorable trials, died Wednesday morning while out on a bike ride with a friend. Lamucci began his practice in 1966, was involved in more than 250 jury trials. Lamucci was 84 and was the son of Italian immigrants who established the iconic Old Town Kern restaurant and deli Luigi's. 17 News will have more on the passing of Timothy Lamucci tonight at 5. By now, you may be used to the hot temperatures, but the next few days will be brutal. In fact, the temperatures we will see over the next few days will be dangerous for everyone, including our pets. Public Health is stressing the necessity to drink plenty of water and avoid drinking too much alcohol. You should also avoid physical activity outdoors during the hottest part of the day. Overall, try to stay out of the sun as much as possible and never leave children or pets in a parked car, even if it's just for a few minutes. It can take as little as 10 minutes for temperatures inside of a car to rise to levels that can kill. And we checked, most Kern County cooling centers will be open today as temperatures soar. The centers operate from 1 to 8 p.m. If you're going to go and hang out at the center, you're asked to bring your favorite non-alcoholic drink, a few snacks and games. If you need transportation to a cooling center, call 211. For a full list of all the cooling centers near you, head to our website, kget.com, and click on the hot link icon. The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.